One Piece, chapter 1014, titled The Ham. Depending on the context that you know what the ham means, it could mean a lot of things, honestly. It's just like, ooh, ham? Is Luffy getting fed today? Nah, the only thing Luffy got fed was his ass, as we see him plummeting off of the floating island of Onigashima, with Kaido noting on the fact that Luffy, despite the fact that he was able to get his Conqueror's Haki and infuse it into all of his other abilities and powers and his strikes and all that, he was a newbie at it. He didn't know what he was doing. He tried to come at an old pro with them weak ass hits. Yeah, he had a little bit of oomph behind it, but it's just like, you new at this. You're trying to come up with attacks on the fly. Get that weak ass shit out of here. Gum gum, what? Bitch, please. You ain't no joy boy, which that caught me off guard. The implication of Joy Boy and all that. Like, what does that mean? Being Joy Boy. Like, I've always kind of wondered that, because sometimes Joy Boy feels like somebody who existed previously, and now he's someone who's gonna exist in the future, a title that's to be taken on. Like, who was the first Joy Boy? How did that name come about? That's the fascinating thing to me. How is someone Joy Boy? What defines Joy Boy? I can't wait to find out more answers about that, because with every revelation, there's just 1,000 more questions to come out of it. But Kaido gives Bao Wong the go ahead to announce to all of Onigashima that Straw Hat Luffy has gotten his ass kicked. Meanwhile, we see that Yamato is trying his best to make sure that people think that he's still running around with Momonosuke and all that, with a lot of the people thinking, oh no, Yamato got out of their cuffs, oh jeez, we're gonna die, and Yamato is just beating people left and right with his kanabo. Unfortunately, one of the Marys has already found Momonosuke and Shinobu's hiding spot, as Momonosuke is reading Odin's travelogue and all that, and makes the statement, it seems that I truly cannot die. Well, must not die. Like, I'm like, wait, what do you mean? Like, at first, I'm just like, oh, he needs to survive for the country. But with that statement, it makes it seem like, oh no, he's absolutely integral to something. There's something out there that he absolutely needs to do before he dies. Or he absolutely shouldn't die by any means. But then that's interrupted by him hearing a voice, which I'm just like, okay, what are you hearing? Is some creature coming this way? Like, it can't be Zunisha, because he asks, who is it? So there has to be something deeper going on here with Momonosuke, but what? I can't even fathom. It just comes out of nowhere. Meanwhile, we see that Chopper is going toe-to-toe with Queen, all the while Perospero is shooting candy arrows into everybody left and right. Like, this man is just shooting anybody he possibly can at this point. However, while Chopper is actually managing to get one over on Queen here and there, unfortunately, he's not doing any damage. In fact, it's Chopper who looks like he's really going through the ringer for the most part. And we end up finding out that Chopper has been maintaining his monster point for 20 minutes now. And we get a bit of a flashback showing that it was actually Caesar Cloud, around the time of when he first got on the ship after the events of Punk Hazard. That Chopper had, basically given information about how his monster point works, how it only maintains it for 3 minutes, that Caesar found it to be sloppy, he would improve it, but it would come at some kind of a risk. And I think there's a risk, like great risk to his stamina if nothing else. But the Rumble Ball originally had a risk to begin with, so it's nothing that Chopper isn't used to at this point. But that's neither here nor there, as he's able to do some damage initially to Queen, but with Queen's Black Coffee Beam, things are still looking pretty bad for Chopper. This also raises the question, since it's obvious that Queen is some kind of cyborg or whatever, is the fact that he's firing off something called a black coffee beam, is he fueled by black coffee, much like how Frankie is fueled by cola? I'm really wondering about that. But then Bao Wong commands all the Marys to enter into something called diffusion mode, which I guess is mostly just a loudspeaker for everyone to hear, and she gives off the announcing that the one with the highest bounty on the enemy side, Straw Hat Luffy, has fallen, showing that ultimately Marco, while he is a big player, apparently doesn't have a higher bounty than Luffy, interestingly enough. Now, Chopper gets distracted and ends up getting chomped on by Queen with his Go-Go Gadget Extendo neck. That thing still looks kind of creepy. Marco hears it. Frankie, who's fighting Sasaki, hears it. It's just like, yeah, you must. It's just like he's either doesn't believe them or he's just like, God damn it, Luffy, not again. Who is back in his human form, is going at it with Jimbei, I guess who wanted to try out his sword and some kicking motions. He's laughing it up over the news. We see Luffy sink into the bottom of the ocean. Old man Hio hears the news and it's just like, oh no. Because the Bao Wong also announces that Kinemon and the Scabbards have fallen as well, which we know at this point isn't true, so there's that. Kaido gets a bird's eye view of Onigashima and sees all the damage that Charlotte Linlin has inflicted on Onigashima, and it's just like, God damn it, this is my house, woman! Trafalgar Law looks pissed. Big Mom rubs it in Kid's face, and he's just like, yeah, I don't give a shit about that asshole. Tama starts bawling her eyes out as Nami tries to hold her and comfort her, and Usopp looks worried. Robin and Brooke. I can't really make out Brooke too much, but Robin, she looks like she's gone through the ringer at least a couple of times. I hope she's doing okay. And when the announcement of anyone who wishes to surrender, we will spare your lives if you become Kaido's followers, immediately Sanji and Zoro are just like, yeah, screw that. You can fuck right off with all of that. Unfortunately, as Kinemon and Kiku have managed to make it to Momonosuke and Shinobu, and Momonosuke is still kind of suffering because of the voice, in comes Odin. It's Kanjuro up to his old tricks again, as Shinobu and Momonosuke kind of buy into it, but Kiku's not having any of this. Like, again? You would dare try this again? And gets ready to strike Odin down. But, though she is spurred on by the memory of Ashura Doji, as Kanjuros continues to play the guise of Odin. Kiku, stop, what are you doing? This is a joke. I'm the one who took you in. Don't you remember me? I'm like a father to you. Oof, Kanjuro is playing dirty, and unfortunately, Kiku, those old memories start to well up, has that brief moment of hesitancy, and Kanjuro stabs Kiku right through the midsection. It's so unfortunate. Man, I really hope Kiku doesn't die from this, but it's hard to say with the way that a lot of the scabbards start falling left and right. As, Kiku laments the fact that she just couldn't do it. She just couldn't bring herself to harm the visage of Kanjuro. And, as Kinemon catches Kiku and she apologizes and laments. It's just like, if the falling slow is melting, surely the hour of the dawn is close at hand, as Kiku slowly passes out, and Kinemon tries his best to comfort Kiku. It's like, no, the light of Wano's dawn will shine all the way to the underworld, no matter what. If it making it seem like Kiku is passing, and I don't want Kiku to go out like this. Not just after she's managed to find her brother and all of that. That's too bitter of a way to go out. I'm not sure, but Kinemon, he does the deed. He just ends Kanjuro right then and there before Kanjuro can try to take down Kinemon in his moment of grief. And then Kanjuro kind of laments, it's just like, yes, this is the way that it should be. He told Kiku before, it's just like, the wound you gave me, it's fatal. I'm not living through this. But I'm just gonna do as much damage as I can before that happens. But with this final strike from Kinemon, it's just like, yes, it should be you. We were always best friends up on the stage, so of course you should be the one to end me, as he passes right out then and there. But not able to kind of lament the situation, as boom, in like the Kool-Aid man comes Kaido. Kaido Kool-Aid, I wonder what that would taste like. It was probably blueberry. Blueberry. But Kaido enters the fray, and without saying so much as a word, bears down on Kinemon. As Kinemon tells Shinobu, get the fuck out of here. Take Momo and get the fuck out of here. As Kaido just reels back, and his club is just filled with Conqueror's Hockey and all that, and he just slams down as Kinemon tries to defend himself, and you just see Kinemon's midsection. It looks like it's Looney Tunes style. He's just been crushed. His entire midsection has just been crushed down, making it seem like he's nothing but legs at this point. Almost ironically the way we found him originally in the story. And his blades look broken off and snapped in twain. It's just like, yeah, no, it really looks like Kinemon's dead. Like, in Momonosuke, what he sees, he lets out this cry and this wail, like that, but just be heard from miles. And it's just like, oh no, not Kinemon. Jeez, did we really just lose 3 of the Scabbers in one chapter? Yeah, Kanjuro was a asshole and needed to die, but damn, that's a lot to have happen. And on top of that, Onigashima has reached the mainland of Wano. We're in the end game. Like, Jesus Christ. If this isn't the tragedy of the act, I don't know what is. And they say that should be what caps off the act, the tragedy. But it seems like the act hasn't ended just yet. So, who knows? Like, geez, what else is gonna happen before we reach Act 3? Like, is there gonna be a rising action? How much longer is this all gonna go on? Because Luffy is lost for like the umpteenth time. Like, what's gonna happen next? We'll just have to find out. But I really am kind of thinking that Kiku and Kinemon might be dead at this point. Because, the 9 red scabbards, they're very similar to the 7 samurai. Well, not very, very similar. Their home is Wano and all of that. But, a ragtag group of samurai brought in to defend people's home. And that ended with little over half of the samurai dying. A spoiler alert, but come on. So, who knows? We might only be left with 4 of the scabbards at the end of that, if at all that. You never know, but tell me your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. What do you think is going to end up happening to Luffy? How is he going to make it out of that? I think the Polar Tang Lost ship is going to end up coming to get him. But, who knows? I mean, they were left behind. I feel like the fact that they haven't been in the fight on Onigashima, there's a reasoning behind that, if nothing else. Kaido entering into the fray, that's troublesome. It's unfortunate that Yamato didn't stick with Luffy because, left and right, Yamato just cannot catch up to the situation with Luffy in no way, shape, or form. What's going to happen with Chopper and Queen? I have to hope that at some point Nekomamuchi's going to come in and help out, especially with the whole Sparrow situation and the downside of the Rumble Ball that he now has. I hope it's just fatigue, if nothing else. What's going on with all the various different battles? Who's going to end up making it through? You have to hope that they'll be able to rise to the challenge, but the only people fighting the higher level officers are really struggling, and that's not good. That is definitely not great. And what do you think? Yo, Kiku dead? Is Kanjuro dead? Is Kinemon dead? A lot of K's just dropping left and right. It's hard to say. I hope your name doesn't begin with a K, because you might not make it through all of this. But, and who is the voice that Momonosuke is hearing? Who could it be? Just so many questions left and right. So tell me your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. Let's get a discussion going, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.